Hi guys, so I'm going to cover one last build tonight, and that'll be doing stables before second town center. Particularly as Persia, but it's also viable for a lot of the other civs. But the thing is, it's one of those builds that probably relies on playing a water map, just because you're delaying that town center, and you're also going to want to be giving yourself the opportunity to hit before your opponent's second town center. Really prevents you from getting anything done. So you're sort of hoping they might have to venture a little bit further outside their base, play things a bit greedily, and give you the opportunity to hit them with the stables, get a bit of damage done and come out ahead, and really double down on eco. Sort of once you've already given yourself a bit of, you know, room, really taking the pressure off yourself. I'll actually just go back to 3 on the food for now. I'm getting hunting dogs. But here on Tundra, oftentimes you will actually get this spawn where your storehouse is going to be right next to your wood and your food. So this will be great. For this sort of opening, what I'm about to do is actually just about perfect. You can go on the dock already. There's wood gatherers for now. Don't have to worry about much else. Just wonder if there's any more resources. So yeah, there's another gold up there. Might be berries, but I don't think so. Should be it. Yeah, that'll be everything. So we're going to see what our opponent's doing. Circle back around. So this build works probably best on this map, or maps like it, funnily enough. Just because you're able to take advantage of the 2 fishing ship sort of opening. It's oftentimes berries or something just there, but there's not this time. There's some over here. Just keeping an eye on where my opponent's resources are going to spawn, just because later on when you're raiding it's really helpful to know. So rather than worrying about having to get the town center behind this, just stage up. And our opponent, if they're like another player, they'll be wanting to go for dock and age up on this map. And on similar maps to this, like marshlands, or some of the other water maps as well. Them are pretty similar in that regard. Probably could have cancelled this villager and hit age up, but I'll just squeeze him out anyway. And we'll go for one more fishing boat, and then we'll go for a stables. Because basically, this stage, we really need to do start on this gold eco. Just a little bit of food for land, but really only need 2 or 3 villages because we're going to have 3 fishing ships. Squeeze out that dock. Squeeze out that stables before our opponent's really able to respond. Obviously the AI is not playing all that sensibly. Actually should come back and scout up the last little corner. You really want to get your stables on whichever side of your base is going to hit whichever side of his that's exposed. A lot of time players will go for a town center over here or a town center over here. And the beauty of it not being their main town center is you may be able to hit just in time to actually kill a villager or 2 as he's finishing it, depending on how hard he's committed to his warships, to his dock eco. And if he tries to go for proxy dock, that's going to slow him down. So by the time he gets the second town center up, you've already got an asabara or 2 over there. You can get net lures. Go up to 4 villages. Oh no. Just going to need to finish a house here. So we should have got the house slightly quicker there. I've actually overgathered a little bit, neither food or gold here to squeeze in that house. So just make sure you get that house. I haven't actually done a perfect example of the build. Haven't really done a lot of that actually. But yeah, we'll squeeze out the early stables just to get that hit. And we can use the gold gatherers to actually build some houses. I like to get them around the gold mine. Keeps it nice and protected. You can even get loom just to try and deny any sort of potential counter raiding. And just try and prevent a second town center going up on a peripheral gold mine in particular, or even just if they are stacked up, you sort of just try and, you know, hit the wood or something like this. Get that villager production going. And now you want to look at going for your stone. I think that's slightly too far away. There we go. Back. Might as well get a bunch of eco techs. We can already start dealing a bit of damage, even though we haven't got our second town center yet. But it will not be far away. And we just keep producing asabara. If he gets a lot of spearmen though, don't be afraid to cut asabara at this point. Only get, you know, 2, 3, 4, and you can cut there. But if he's making anything other than the counter unit, the spears, keep making them. Force him to have to make them. If you can make your opponent have to get a unit to counter what you're doing, great. Then you just counter whatever he's now made. And on top of that, keep using it as best you can. So we'll get this town center behind us. Won't be far off. Just try and do as much damage as we can. He's gone lancers, which, while they're going to be a fairly even fight, he's down on number now. Because I've already got the asabara. So just keep on raiding. Keep interrupting the economy. In fact, he's also committed to a range. So this is a big loss. He's already dead. So a player is not going to be this stupid, you'd hope. But there may be. Now, paying attention to that, I've actually overgathered a little bit, but I've been dealing damage. In the event you're not dealing damage, obviously you want to make sure you're spending as perfectly as possible. But the more damage you're dealing, the less you have to actually sweat about 100% perfect, you know, spending. And in fact, from here we can even get ready to go to age 3. Bearing in mind our food eco is going to have to pick up a little bit here. But actually, most of these guys should be able to go on top of that. These guys can just go on the gold. And, you know, with Persia, it's really nice to transition to Immortals. As much as I've pretty much messed this AI up, we can come back home. Get ready for age 3. Be sensible from there with a more normal Persian opening. Don't be afraid to take aid tent. Send these guys all back home. Just keep massing up a couple more. Maybe get a stables and barracks. Or even just take the age up a little bit quicker there. Totally up to you, really. If you've done some good damage here on, shouldn't really matter all that much. Yeah, if you want the age up to be pretty quick, just don't produce a lot out of these until you've actually taken the age up. But at least they're built, ready to go. Maybe gather a slight amount of gold, just because you can get your champion upgrades for your spears and your asabara once you get age 3. It looks like I'm pretty skint for hunts. So we'll come back here, finish these. Don't be afraid to take another fishing ship. Try and space out docks at both ends of this pond, so you can make use of merchant transports as well, rather than having to invest in markets to get a lot of caravans. You can just, you know, take advantage of the fact that you've got all these ready to go off the back of having gathered food. And if you are going to space them out, you can actually bring fishing ships down here to gather. Bring some up this way because there's less travel time. Don't be forgetful about your docks. And I've got to now try and pick up this wood gathering a little bit more, because I haven't actually got any armory upgrades. I've over-gathered a little bit on stone, it's not really a problem. We'll just get back to wood gathering for a bit. Try not to over-queue those, and it gives you space, population-wise and resource-wise, to keep queuing up units out of your other buildings. So you just want to maintain near constant production out of as many buildings as possible. You don't want to build 500 buildings and find out you're not actually able to afford building out of them because you haven't been gathering the right resources. You know, it's important to gather resources, but it's even more important to gather the right resources. I'm going to need to build that anyway, but I've got the pop space now. Really my main focus. You get champion upgrades. Try and get maybe one immortal camp now. Get my town center. And yeah, add more immortal camps from there. Take armory upgrades. So I've got to start adding armories. Even cut a bit of this food eco because I'm really starting to bank it now that I've readjusted my my fishing eco here. Delay that upgrade slightly in favor of setting up more stuff here. This town center ASAP. I can probably look at restarting the have another gold mine. Bring some of these wood gatherers we've just added to go add a town center at one side of the map here, and we can mark it on the other side. So always just sort of plan ahead with this sort of stuff. Start walling this in, keep ourselves nice and safe, and restart stone gathering now that I've spent that 600 stone bank I had. Ideally you don't want to have huge banks unless you can really, you know, spend it as soon as you can. And what I need to do is start adding armories here. And my opponent, because I've been camping out a good spot here, he's not paying attention. He's rallied some villagers over here to try and train something, or try and add some more buildings, because he wants to, you know, get a town center over there or set up a market or something. Pick them off, easy peasy. We stop asabara production here, really focus on immortal production for the next little bit, because I've already got 23 of these buggers. Got some armories on the way, got my third town center, so things are looking really good here. Cut this gold gathering for a little bit. Maybe even get my gates ready. Even send the second villager. Make sure this finishes up quicker so it doesn't get raided. Take net weights before it's too long. And even set up for my market. So if you press Shift Z, it'll actually tell you how much gold you're going to get. So 300 is going to be what I'm aiming for here, or as close to. So that'll do. 296. Don't want to go over because that's actually a loss. And we can look at pushing here as well. So all this, I'm already age 3 town center. All off the back of a delayed second town center. I can just add more immortals. Make sure I'm constantly getting these armory upgrades. Add a third armory. We're looking really good for a delayed second town center build. Probably wouldn't add too many more docks. Maybe one in the middle there. And that'll do it. Like I said, no need to actually worry about markets, even though I've already invested in one now. The beauty of markets though is that you can obviously trade resources for other resources, which you can't do that with your dock, but I mean it still lets you have a trader, and one that's not going to be killed on the land, provided you're not getting proxy docked on this map, which is actually pretty common. This is a wonderful map, taking advantage of that water eco. So yeah guys, this is just a bit of a guide to opening with stables before second town center, particularly on water maps, and what it can give you in terms of map control. that could set you up for later in the game. Thanks for watching.